2025. Agenda item 1 is going to be the call to order, the Pledge of Allegiance, pledge to the Texas flag, and our inspirational moment.
Okay, Mr. President, board members, students, faculty, staff, visitors, I'm glad everyone is here today in this beautiful cold weather, and good morning. I'm going to give you a little background about our pledges and inspirational moment speakers before they say the pledges and the inspirational moment speech today. Our Pledge of Allegiance speaker is our 5th grade from Fort Sam Houston Elementary School and is a member of Miss Neal's homeroom class. It's Rose Chambers. Her parents are Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Chambers and Jennifer Chambers. Rose has been a part of Fort Sam Houston Elementary since 2nd grade. Prior to coming to San Antonio, she lived in Connecticut. Rose has 2 siblings, Noah Chambers and Bradley Chambers, who are both students at Cole High School. Rose's favorite subject is reading because she loves writing and reading comprehension. And when Rose is not at school, she likes to play with friends and read and watch TV and play video games. She also likes to cook, bake, and particularly cakes and cookies. What type of cookies, Rose?
Chocolate chip.
Oh, we're there. That's me right there. So if you ever want to bake, bring some to the... All right, very good. After she graduates from high school, Rose wants to go to Cornell and university and work in hotel administration. Why hotel administration, Rose?
Because we went on a tour to Cornell this summer, and that was one of the things that intrigued me when we were there.
Oh, very good. All right, thank you. Our 7th grade pledger is middle school student, Bear Wilson. Bear is the son of Lieutenant Colonel Ben Wilson and Joyce Wilson. Bear enjoys art, travel, band, soccer, tennis, and he also finds time for drawing and 3D printing. Bear is a very well traveled and has lived in Japan, Colorado, Germany, Kansas, Texas, and Australia. He said he likes that Cole is a big school and he likes his teachers and friends. After Bear graduates from high school, he wants to go to college and get a high-paying job, don't we all? He's still undecided on what job he wants to do. Finally, he is proud to share that his name is Bear because he is a member of the Navajo Nation, the Native American. And our inspirational moment speaker is Ethan Perez from the Cole Culinary Arts Department. Ethan, can you stand up for a minute? Now, if your nose your nose is really working this morning because of the cold weather, if you can smell that odoriferous odor of barbecue, it's a beautiful smell. So he's been out barbecuing this morning. So I love that smell. So thank you.
Looking forward.
Graduating this spring, Ethan has been a student in the program since his freshman year and is currently the captain of the competition barbecue team and president of the Green Table, the Practicum and Culinary Arts Club operating a food-based business on campus. The son of Juan and Grisela Perez, Ethan has also been actively involved in the band, participating in marching band competitions, UIL events, solo and small ensemble competitions, and holding the position of section leader for the saxophones. During his time here at Cole, Ethan has demonstrated initiative, creativity, and dedication. He has frequently shown leadership in executing various events on campus and in the community. He is willing to step up and help his classmates and shows a great example to his younger students. He has operated a business of his own selling cake pops and plans to continue working in the hospitality industry as an entrepreneur. He plans on attending a local community college studying environmental science and to continue to use the skills he has honed in the culinary arts program from a philanthropic pursuits. The progress he has made in the CT program shows how passion and hard work can yield success both inside and outside the classroom. Ethan embodies the qualities that make up a great chef, and his example will be felt in the program from years to come. So, very good.
Good deal.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the
Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Great job, great job.
When I think of my time in culinary, it can be broken down to 4 words. 1 word for each year: acceptance, community, support, and leadership. My freshman year, I never really had a group of people that I was comfortable with. I consider myself a quiet person that usually keeps to myself, but I felt like all that changed when I met Kevin Paul, Alexia Hogue, and Shepard Kingdom. Those 3 people made it easy to talk to. They're all kind and patient with me when I first joined the program. I think what made it really easy for us to connect together was our interest in cooking. Although I only had a year with them, that was the first time I felt accepted. My second year in culinary was a crazier class. We had a new chef, new people, and a new curriculum. In this class, it was easier to meet new people since we were stuck with each other for two periods, or 100 minutes. With my new friends, Eden Kruzik, Austin Howard, and Ed Kavice, we made those 2 periods really fun. Not only was the class fun, but it was the first year where I felt like I was part of the community. I remember catering for the Hispanic Heritage Month, the LCDC Ball, and the Muse Gallery. And that first year really felt like I was a part of something, the cool community. My third year was by far the worst year on a personal level. I lost a person that was dear to me. Although this person, I thought it was going to be in my life for a very long time. And it was really hard to live for that year. But I realized I wasn't alone. Even though I didn't know many of my classmates in my culinary class, I realized all of them were there for me. My culinary class, to be honest, it wasn't a very big class since the culinary program was just starting to grow with our new chef. We only had 8 people. But I remember just being there with them for 100 minutes every day, and they would just listen to me talk. I'm very grateful for them. They helped me through a really hard time, and this was the first time where I really lost someone that was really, really close to me. And I have people to thank for that. Ava Munsell, Sky Cooper, and Kristen Brand. They gave me the support that I needed to move on in life. And I really want to thank them. And for my 4th year in culinary arts, I didn't really feel like a student anymore. I felt more like a mentor. Through my 3 previous years of cooking and the leadership skills I've acquired in band, I really felt more like a leader, more like a teacher. I remember there was a day where people didn't just come to me ask for my help, just, hey, chop onions, or hey, we need tomato slice, but they asked, hey, how do I fix this? How do I make this taste good? And I felt like on that day, I really became a leader, not just a student. And I just remember that not only do I help students that are in my grade, but I also are able to lead the next generation of Cole. Not only am I in 2 years of practicum, but I also lead the barbecue competition, which has freshmen and some sophomores joining. But I'm also the TA for the 2nd year of culinary, and I'm able to help them out. I joined culinary to learn to cook, but I think I learned something else. I learned how to find people that would accept me. I learned how to be a part of the community. I learned that people cared and supported me, and I learned how to be a leader. Culinary isn't just a place where I learned to be a chef, but also a person.
You can share it with me.
So if I could, you spoke about some things that I think that we need to talk about.
Yes.
Right? We need to compliment you on dealing with what they call life. Life don't give you a warning sign. Life don't, it just happens sometimes, right? And the things that you go through sometimes is not about you, but it's how many people you can help along the way. Because how can you help somebody through something when you've never been through nothing, right? And so just use those things, those tools, right, to help others now that you are a mentor and you have mentees. And we appreciate you, we value you, And I'm sure that the program, right, because they talk about you often, right? And so, you know, his comment was, he felt that his attire wasn't the best. See, I grew up in this church that says, come as you are. Right? Sometimes you just come as you are. Because the value is not in your appearance, the value is in you. And we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes, we
Cool. Good job. Good job.
Would y'all like to take a photo out with our kids and their parents?
Now we shot to this.
How are you?
You didn't make a fuss, so.
Are you gonna take your couple of 1, 2, 3? All right, got him. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Still so weird to sit there.
Just share that information. Agenda item 2 is a quorum. The following board members are present. Vice President, Mr. Aaron Bratton II. Secretary, Dr. Latoya Sizer. Board member, Ms. Andrea Nicholas. And board member, Colonel Rebecca Zanate. President, Mr. Willie White. Can't forget yourself. Public comments. Agenda item number 3. Board Policy BD Local sets out the requirements of the public comments portion of a meeting. During regular board meetings, the public comments may address any topic, whether posted on the agenda item or not. During special call meetings or work sessions, public comments are limited to the items posted on the agenda only. To participate in the public comments portion of a meeting, members of the public must sign their name in the sign-in sheet no later than 5 minutes before the meeting is scheduled to begin and shall indicate the topic on which they wish to speak. The sign-in sheet is located placed on the podium at the Professional Development Center located at 1908 Winans Road, San Antonio, Texas, 72234. A meeting of the Board of Trustees is a meeting of the board in public, not a public meeting, which is to say that the audience participation at a board meeting is limited to the public comment section of a meeting. At all other times during the meeting, the audience shall not enter into discussion or debate on matters being considered by the board. During the public comment, the board may furnish specific factual information or recite policy, but by law, the board shall not deliberate or decide regarding any subject that is not included on the agenda for that meeting, and any deliberation or decision by the board will occur during the discussion of the agenda item and not during the public comment. During regular board meetings, the public comments may address any topic, whether posted on the agenda or not. During special call meetings or work sessions, public comments are limited to the items posted on the agenda only. In order to participate in the public comment portion of a meeting, members of the public must sign up with the presiding officer or designee no later than 5 minutes before the meeting is scheduled and shall wish to speak. Individuals may be given up to 3 minutes to speak during a public comment. However, when necessary for effective meeting management or to accommodate large numbers of individuals wishing to address the board, the presiding officer may make adjustments to the public comment procedures, including adjusting when public comments will occur during the meeting, reordering agenda items, deferring public comment on non-agenda items, continue agenda items to a later meeting, providing expanded opportunity for the public comment, or adjusting the time allotted to each speaker. However, no individual shall be given less than 1 minute per person to make a public comment. A member of the public who addresses the board through a translator shall provide a translator. A member of the public who addresses the board through a translator must be given at least twice the amount of time as a member of the public who does not require a translator. A presiding officer or designee shall determine whether a person addressing the board has attempted to solve the matter administratively through the resolution channels established by policy. If not, the person's presentation shall be halted and the person shall be referred to the appropriate policy to seek resolution. DGBA, employee comments. FNG, student or parent comments. GF, public comments. There shall be no disruption of the meeting by members of the audience. If after at least one warning from the presiding officer, an individual continues to disrupt the meeting by his or her words or actions, the presiding officer may request assistance from law enforcement officials to have the individual removed from the meeting, and once the individual is escorted off the premises, the person is not permitted to return during the meeting. Individuals with signs, props, or displays shall sit in the last two rows or along the back wall so as not to interfere with the meeting or with the public observation of the meeting. During public comment, individuals shall not use the name of district employees or of district students unless the student about whom they are speaking is of their own. So do we have a Jennifer Cummings? Yes.
To the esteemed members of the school board, I want to thank you for your time. I came to you with several important questions concerning and regarding our current state of the school and the proposed Bluebonnet curriculum. How much time has the board members spent visiting the school and engaging directly in the teachers without an admin escort? Have these conversations been conducted in a manner that ensures that the teachers do not fear retaliation for voicing their true opinions? Next, teachers' involvement in the curriculum decision. How many teachers participated in voting in the last curriculum? What was the outcome and the decision, and how has this impacted our students and their learning experience this year? As a parent, I can tell you it was not the best. Transparency of the test scores. Can you provide the scores of the recent practice tests? It has come to my attention that teachers were instructed not to share the results with parents unless they were asked for the results. Why is this decision being made? How does it align with our community and transparency? Decision making. I question whether the curriculum decision making process adequately involves those who are directly responsible for implementing the curriculum, the teachers. Are we ensuring that the voices of our educators are being heard and valued? Transparency and communication. As you may be aware, we live in a diverse, multicultural community on the military installation. When I assumed the role as a PTO president at the elementary school, I was repeatedly reminded of the importance of transparency, and it is ironic that our school often appears to lack the very quality. With the recent approval of the Bluebonnet curriculum by the state, I have heard that our school plans to implement this curriculum. Given its biblical background, it is crucial that the parents be made aware of this. When will this information be communicated to the parents? Have the teachers been given the opportunity to provide their input for this curriculum as well? Finally, I've heard that the curriculum will be voted on at the board meeting in March. Can you confirm if this is true? I believe these questions are essential for fostering an open and honest dialogue between the school board, teachers, and parents. Thank you for your time and attention to the matters.
Thank you. Agenda item 4 is achievements in special recognition. Agenda item number 5, superintendent's report.
All right. Once again, Mr. President, board members, faculty, staff, students, thank y'all, and parents as well, visitors, thank you for attending. This is one of my favorite highlights during the board meetings. My superintendent's advisory committee, we meet, monthly. It hasn't been as frequent as I'd like it to be, but, this is giving an opportunity for our students from elementary to the secondary to voice things that are going on and what changes that we could possibly affect change in our district in a positive light. I've had the opportunity to work with some of these students as far as elementary. I feel old, but watching them grow until, as Samantha, from her 5th grade year, she was very quiet, didn't say anything, and now as an 8th grader, each and every year, you get to see her voice being heard. Same thing with Mr. Douglas. His voice keeps continuing to affect, and it's a beautiful thing to get to see these students talk, discuss issues that are going on in our district. So with that being said, guys, come on up. And these students are picked by the administration on the campus, and basically, one of the things I've always tried to pride myself in, I don't like wasting people's time. And so each and every year I'll ask these guys, I go, okay, folks, I don't want to, waste your time. Do you think this, committee is worth keeping? Because I know y'all got a lot of things on your plate, and they adamantly tell me no. At first I thought it was about the lunch, but we've actually made some changes throughout the course of the years, and I'll be quiet and let these individuals talk and say some things they wanted to tell the board. So, Sophia, Samantha, y'all can start.
I definitely think it gives the students voice in the school, and I've had a lot of people come up to me and talk about changes that they want to make, and I really think it makes them feel heard having listened.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off that. I feel like we've, over the years, definitely been able to use this as a way to give the students a voice, like Samantha said, and we've just been able to continuously build the trust between the administration and the students, because we can advocate for ourselves in a way that I feel like a lot of other schools might not be able to.
I know this program's given us a lot of opportunity to voice our opinions, voice what we think could be changed. Some substantial, some not. This is me, Sophia, and I, and Garrison's 6th year on this. So we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot changed. I know Dr. Bates has definitely valued our input, even put it into effect. So I just want to thank y'all for that.
Board members, they're ready for your questions. So they have anything.
I just think you got a diverse group, right? I see bowlers, right? Like we just started our bowling program. We got tennis and golf and theater and culinary and basketball, and so it's just not a diverse, from what you see and what you hear, right? It's through your clubs and through your programs that you're bringing forth, not just in the classroom. And so we pride ourselves on being a value-based organization because we value the people, right? The students. And that's why this program is so critical that Dr. Bates is facilitating, because we value your voice. And so we appreciate all that you do in supporting this program.
you know, one of the things that I've truly enjoyed, you know, Colonel Retired Braxton II, you talk about the diversity of our community, of our kids. Just because, you know, you look at the different aspects, the different opinions, and one of the things that we talk about is, guys, you know, we may agree to disagree, but we're coming together collectively for the betterment for all of our students in our districts. And that's kind of been our mission and vision. And once, you know, we don't agree on everything from the 7th grade to the sophomores to the seniors, but once collectively, it's about all of us bringing our voices to the table and what's best for all. And that's the beauty of this group.
Cool.
I have a question to put them kind of on the spot. If you had an opportunity to say what was the thing that put the biggest smile and that huge C on your chest to say, we did this, what would it be? Anybody can answer. And I see my songbird. I thought that was you, but I was like, no, because he has facial hair. But that was my songbird for a long time. Anybody can answer, please.
I think it's just the productive dialogue we get to have every meeting. We all like to give out ideas and then we discuss why or why not we think it can be implemented. And Dr. Bates is really good about telling us like which ones he'll bring up and which ones have already been discussed and why it's either not possible or how they're still working on it. So I feel like even if we get a no, we get a reason behind it, so it doesn't feel like we're being just ignored. We understand.
Anything else, board members? Guys, y'all got anything else? All right. Can we take a photo? The board, you buying that? Okay. All right.
There's worse things in life. So many. Very good. Get some of those in the back and the front.
I love to read.
All right, you got it.
Cool.
All right, folks.
Good job.
Thank y'all. You all. No more. We had this conversation all the time.
Better than mine.
Okay, thank you all again, guys. I think our next meeting is in March, so we'll go forth from there. Okay, teaching and learning. Dr. Shanetta, good morning.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Good
sorry.
morning.
Oh, okay, yes. I'm sorry, Dr. Shanetta. Yes, they can be dismissed.
Speaking of teacher, they learn.
Yeah, that is kind of good.
This has to be the right idea. Gloves. You know what? I was wondering for a minute if it was me. Okay.
Folks, you all are more than welcome to sit down. All right. Teaching and learning. Dr. Shanetta, good morning. You have the call.
Yes, sir. We're just chugging along. It's almost March, but a couple of things I wanted to mention. We recently had 50 randomly selected fourth graders. They're going to participate in the NAEP assessment, which stands for National Assessment of Education Progress, on February 27th. The NAEP test provides, it's really what we call the nation's report card. So you've probably seen it in the news when the results come out for NAEP in reading and math and areas like that. But we have them coming out. It's just randomly chosen. So I want to thank Ms. Fuller and, of course, Ms. Jones, our assistant principal, who's also the campus testing coordinator, for facilitating that. So a group will come onto our campus from them, and they will facilitate the assessment. And so it's just random selection. And so we got some fourth graders that take it. I'm sorry? 50.
What's the assessment entail? What areas?
Ms. Fuller?
Reading and math.
Reading and math only, but there's a few other areas, but we were selected for reading and math.
50 students, fourth
This
graders.
is the first time we.
And it's just random. They choose schools every year, and so we were selected this year, yeah.
Good deal.
So it's called the NAEP, the National Assessment of Educational Progress. Also, we wanted to let you know that a group of us presented recently in January, at the end of January, at the Texas Association of School Administrators Midwinter Conference. We had a full house for our presentation, and it was titled Helping Leaders Support High Quality Instructional Material Implementation, and it was presented by Dr. Bates, Ms. Fuller, myself, Dr. Cerna, and Ms. Fisher. So we were sharing our work in the area. You know, a teacher needs a high quality curriculum in order to be successful with all children. And so just sharing our work in that area. As you know, the legislature is in the curriculum business, House Bill 1605. And so we were just sharing our work that we've been doing here. And so, but we had a full house. We were very excited about it.
Good deal.
Those are just a few highlights in the teaching and learning department. We're about to get to test season, so we're just chugging along.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Fisher, good morning, ma'am. You have the calm.
Okay, we have some activities that already passed. We had our middle school counselors come over and visit to complete the scheduling. The kids were excited about getting ready to move up to middle school. We also had our first grade STEAM rotations. And this weekend we have our talent show that is also a silent auction fundraiser. We rescheduled the parent sessions, the Strong Forces. The one we missed due to weather will now be held on February 25th. We have had some good parents attending. On February 27th, we have our Black History Month Play Faith by Rita Fields, and we are opening it up to parents to come in for our 9 to 9:30 showing. The next month, we have our Read Across America, March 3rd through the 7th. On March 7th, we have our Fun Run, which is also our PTO fundraiser. They do so much for our kids, so we want to make sure that we're always supporting them. On March 13th, we have our Spring Pictures. March 14th, we have our House Color Lunch going on. And then on March 28th, we're going to have our annual egg drop event. So even with the price of eggs going up, we're still going to do it.
Wow.
Any questions?
No.
No? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Cerna, good morning.
Morning.
Notice you have a little dirt on your collar there.
I got a couple extra.
I'm good.
Talk about bowling. I didn't put that in my notes, but I'll reference bowling. We wrapped up bowling. Cole has a bowling team, and they wrapped it up last week. Garrison was one of our superintendent advisory committee members, is the second ranked bowler in our district.
Okay.
And we also have the fourth ranked bowler in our campus, but it's new, and it's something that we're gonna probably keep going with, but it's another opportunity for students to join something, and it helps them kind of network with other districts. It's a citywide bowling league that goes to state and nationals if you advance that far. All right, so from Cole, there's a ton of stuff going on, but a couple of the main things I wanted to share with you is Saturday we have a talent show and silent auction at the elementary school. That'll be Saturday at 4 p.m. There'll be a talent show there. The fundraiser is for our senior class. So about 20 acts will be there from elementary to high school. You do have a couple staff members in there too this year, and that money helps just support the seniors in all their activities. Senior year is just full of different activities and events, and we're already on the bottom half of that school year, so we want to make sure they end strong. March 1st, we have a Mayor's Cup banquet at Tech Port San Antonio. Cyber Texas Foundation is presenting Cole's Hack Street Girls with the award for the top all-girls high school team award for the state of Texas. So they won Cyber Patriot 17. The Hack Street Girls is the name of that group. They'll get an award 2 Saturdays from now. So it's a pretty nice event where the mayor hosts it. Tons of schools and community members and different agencies go and show up, but we're getting recognized for that. Other schools get recognized for other events. Our middle school and high school will be in attendance, but our high school is getting a state level award. We also have Educational First Tours. They're coordinating with Cole Families. It's a spring break trip to Italy. So that group reaches out, networks with the families and asks who's interested. And then some of our families have decided to take part in that trip. All I have for Cole. Any questions, follow-ups?
When did you say this trip was going to be?
That'll be in spring break.
During spring break?
Yes, sir.
I just like the fact that, we jump-started bowling as one of the, underused scholarships. I mean, like, people just don't know about the full ride scholarships that you can get for bowling, and we have some ringers, if you would, and so for those that not, participated in bowling and not having the guards up on both sides, just to see the talent pool out there is phenomenal.
They get Garrison probably is over 220, 224 a game. He really looked at by schools. I go and get to eat wings and Dr. Pepper.
They have some great wings over there.
Best duty I have.
And then the other thing is just the talent show. For those who have not participated in our talent show, so I'll be one of the judges again this weekend, and I mean from K all the way up through adulthood, right? And just showcasing talent. And you would believe I was seeing kids playing guitar and singing and piano and dancing and poetry. It's just phenomenal. And so I'm glad that you guys are keeping that up and supporting the seniors class as well. So
Yes, sir. I think I'm the next one too as well.
Yeah, go ahead with athletics.
That's me.
Yep.
So Coach Norman is not available today. We're in, and you'll see why with all these events that we have going on.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe we have about 115 students per grade level. I don't know how we get all these teams together. How do you have this many events? Swim, we concluded their season. I think it was last weekend. We had we had the boys place 7th in state in 2 events. So our boys relay teams are 7th in the state in 4A. It's not a 2A competition, it's a 4A competition. They competed here at Northeast Josh Davis Natatorium. Powerlifting is moving on. They advanced to regionals. Tennis it's just started. They've had 2 tournaments so far. Golf has had 2 tournaments so far. And they won 2nd place in one of their tournaments. Girls basketball made it to playoffs. Did not advance out of round 1, but they had a really strong season. Boys are playing tomorrow. They're playing out in Cuero, Texas. The team they're playing is Rice Consolidated. The boys won district. They also won their 1st round basketball game. Score was 98-19.
Yeah.
So it was a strong showing. Everybody played. Natalia was the team we played, and Natalia did a great job. They brought a big
crowd.
group out. They beat us in volleyball, so then we kind of evened the score, beat them in basketball.
Paid them back.
Boys soccer right now is in 2nd place in the district. Girls is 3rd place in the district. Track and field has had 2 meets so far. Softball and baseball are in full swing. And then middle school track is also underway. We'll be starting middle school tennis pretty soon. All this is happening while everything else is happening. So this is 1,000 plates spinning right now, but our students do a great job later, and you did hear earlier from culinary. They're also competing this weekend. I think they're heading out to Odessa for a barbecue competition. So if you're not sure, if a student goes home and says, hey, what'd you do today? I didn't do anything. Don't buy it. There's something to do. There's tons going on.
I want to give a shout out to our transportation department for this.
Exactly. and the maintenance teams.
Yeah, we're busy. Anything else? We also want to say thank you for all you do. As you know, in January was Board Appreciation Month. We didn't get together on that, but we do want to say thank you for everything you do, and there should be a gift back for you. So thank you very much, Dr. Bates. Thank you, and students for helping.
Thank you, Dr. Serna.
Thank you, thank you. Dr. Sultan, you didn't have any?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Ms. Novak.
I want to give a shout out to the 502nd Security Forces Squadron. We had an active attacker exercise at the elementary last Friday, and as always, they were very cooperative with us. We learn, they learn. We just love our partnership with them. We always send a survey out to our staff afterwards, so we're reviewing those results, and as always, we take those results and do everything we can to continue to keep our campuses safe for our students and staff. On our website right now, we have issued a request for proposals for bank depository services. This is something that's required at least once every 8 years. And in addition to posting it on our website, we've sent it out to some of the area banks as well. So that'll be coming to the board, I think, at that April meeting for approval. And that's it, sir.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Mr. President, board members, that is my report for the month of March. No, blame my last February. Sorry.
Thank you, Dr. Bates. Agenda item 6 is the minutes from the regular business meeting of December the 19th, 2024, and the special business meeting of January 16th, 2025. Board members, any comments? Hearing none, is there a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the minutes from the regular business meeting of December 19th, 2024, and the special business meetings of January 16th, 2025. As
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I, Latoya Sizer.
I, Andrea Nicholas.
I, Aaron Braxton, second.
Hi, Rebecca Singleton.
I, Willie White. Majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item 7 is to consider and take possible action to approve the final rankings for the selection of the architectural design and construction administration services.
You tell me.
Exactly. We started this process, we put out bids, and we did not think we were gonna get, 5, that's kind of normal for a project this size. Folks, we had 18 proposals. That's a lot. So we went through, myself, Ms. Novak, Mr. Campbell, and both principals went through. Out of that 18, we narrowed it down to 6. And out of the 6, we narrowed, first round, we interviewed 6 architect firms, came back for round 2, came within 3. And the one that kind of stood hand above, they were all good, but one that really stood above all the rest of them was Claycomb and Associates. We felt very good. Their presentations, they have worked on schools from large to small size schools, and basically it wasn't, what impressed me was, this is not our project, this is our project in terms of how we build what we want, and they're gonna go through that aspect every sense of the way. One of the things that concerned me through this process, our president was talking about tariffs and how could that affect lumber and steel. And Claycomb, they assured me, my angst got a little lower about the process. I mean, it's kind of the unknown, even with the military. So that's kind of where we're at. Ms. Novak, do you have anything else to
Yeah,
add?
and we do have representatives of Clayco
Yes.
here, but the other thing that's really good about this particular project is, pending your approval, we'll have the architect and the construction manager at risk at the table from the get-go.
Yes.
So that's gonna help us all with cost containment, because, between the two of them, figuring out, fulfilling our needs, what we need as a district, but then, looking at alternatives. Well, you could use this material versus that material, those type of things, to where we can be constantly, in the loop of what we think this project's going to cost us.
Is all that coordinated with the installation, just for?
Yeah, we have to get dig permits with the installation.
And all of that's already done?
Yeah, and
Yes,
well,
ma'am.
we're in the process of
Yes.
doing that. Yeah, so people on the installation will have to review some of the plans for fire protection and some of those those type of things, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
That's the next step, or?
Well, that comes as we're
As we're going,
designing it,
yes.
yeah. We've already started the process to get permits because we've gotta do some soil sampling testing. So that part of it, we're starting to work on. But then once we start designing the process, then we do work with them to make sure that we're meeting all of the, whatever guidelines the installation has. Cause in my 15 years here, that's kinda ebbed and flowed, what we can do, what we can't do. So, but we do partner up with the civil engineering squadron on that and the fire protection as well.
And just a reminder, I know we're in the very beginning, but once it's awarded, when is the whole project timeline?
It's probably gonna be close to 2 years for everything. I mean, it takes a good 6 to 8, 9 months from design to getting the construction documents out there, and then to start, the bidding process for that, and then, actually breaking ground. And it'll be in phases, cause we want these 2 buildings for instructional purposes, but we need to get out of these buildings first.
Yep.
And then we'll, in the process, also be working on the elementary playground. But with the elementary playground, because of where we're at right now, it most likely, it will be next summer before we actually replace that equipment. By the time it gets designed, and then you've got the whole supply chain of getting that equipment here. So as far as elementary playground, it will be not this summer, but next summer before we replace that equipment over there.
Next summer.
Yes,
Okay.
the summer of 26. So yeah, altogether about 2 years, which is normal.
Which is normal, yeah.
And I appreciate the question that you asked about decision criteria.
Okay, yeah,
As you
so,
were making.
okay, so with the architect, cause we had two proposals out there. For the architect criteria, it was 45% background and experience, 20% approach to project administration, 10% cooperation, 10% resource availability and key personnel, 10% post-construction follow-up, and 5% firm stability. And then with construction manager risk, that was 40% prize, 25% management ability, 20% experience and reputation, and 15% financial and firm stability.
And I guess the next phase would be this, one coordination of civil engineers, but also we don't have but 2 entry and exit points on this side of the installation. And so I just think that's gonna be critical, because I don't know if any of you have tried to get here in the morning with that one gate. It become a nightmare for most people. And so I'll just say that, that's gotta be a huge, plane into the factory.
Yeah, oh yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
gonna get y'all to track it down.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. Cause a lot of those contractors, though, they're here earlier, yeah. They're getting here at 6 and 6:30 in the morning, so.
So do we have any Claycomb representatives here right now? Raise your hand, please.
Like 5 of them.
Okay, we got one. Right, okay. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none. Is there a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the rankings for architect and authorize the superintendent to negotiate and execute the contract on behalf of the district in a form approved by legal counsel.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I, Latoya Sizer.
I, Rebecca Snyder.
Aaron Bryson is second.
I, Andrea Nicholas.
Aye, Willie White. Majority vote, the motion passes. Cool. All right. Okay. Agenda item number 8 is to consider to take possible action to approve the final rankings for the selection of construction manager at risk. Any comments on it?
So, similar process, we put it out for bid. With this particular one, though, we only got 3 proposals submitted to us. So the same team got together, ranked them, and we are recommending Jackson Construction. They have done 4 previous projects for us, and we have been well pleased with the work they have done. If there's an issue with anything, they are Johnny on the spot, making sure that it's done according to spec, and making sure that, it's meeting the needs of the school district. And we've got 2 representatives of Jackson here as well.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Board members, any comments, questions, concerns? Novak. Do we have a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the rankings for construction manager at risk and authorizing the superintendent to negotiate and execute the contract on behalf of the district
Bless you.
in the form approved by legal counsel.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor?
I, Andrea Nicholas.
I, Aaron Bryson, second.
I, Latoya Sizer.
Hi, Rebecca Snyder.
I, Willie White. The majority vote, the motion passes.
Thank y'all so much.
All right. Absolutely. Agenda item 9 is to consider and take possible action by the board to delegate to the superintendent the authority to review and approve 100% of construction documents for the 2025 construction project.
So as we go through the process, there's design and putting the construction documents together and then the actual building of it. You will be seeing the designs part of that, but then as with construction documents, you get to a point where you've got 50%, 65%, 90%. And it saves time, and time equals money with
Right.
construction. So giving Dr. Bates the authority to approve 100% of those documents helps us moving forward with getting, actual shoveling dirt with these projects.
And you will be seeing Play Home quite a bit as we go through the timeline and process. We want to keep you all in the loop, throughout this process as well, so.
Any
So
comments?
just in this process though, is this potential for any cost changes, overrun, like anything that could adjust the final dollar amount?
So what happens with construction manager at risk, once we get all the construction documents and the construction manager puts it out for bids and gets all the bids in from the subcontractors, we then bring to you a guaranteed maximum price.
Okay.
And they have worked in contingencies with all of that, so the board sees that. Is there a chance that something could? Yes, there's always that chance, but if it does, then we would come to the board and explain what happens. You see this more when there's major renovations. New construction, one thing, you know what you're building. With renovations, we don't know what's behind some of these walls. We think we do, but until we get behind those walls, then, but we're hopeful that not, because as standard practice, there are contingencies built into those guaranteed maximum prices. So we're hopeful we don't have to come to you with any changes beyond that.
And the good thing about this, one of the things as we're going through this process with our construction manager at risk and the architect firm, we're all gonna be at the table. Everyone's gonna be at the table, so if there are issues that arise, we're not putting it off on this person, that person. We're at the table and we solve it. So, and I told him I'm very adamant. One of the things is Dr. Wittes would know, get a superintendent fired is you go with an X amount of number of dollars and you're coming back to the board, guys, I need $2-3 million more because of X, Y, and Z. So those folks know that won't happen. So.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just to echo that, with the delivery method that you're choosing, the construction manager at risk, it's really great. Like Julie said, they're involved right from the beginning with any of the cost items. As we go through the design process, we'll be looking at those to meet your budget from the beginning of the design. So even before it goes out to bid with the subcontractors, we're gonna have a pretty good idea where we are budget-wise. But if we need to make any adjustments.
Thank you.
And Dr. Cerner, we've kind of talked, it's kind of about separating between your wants and your needs. So you may want this, but is it actually we need it?
Right, but again, it's the inflationary factor right
Yeah.
now. Construction inflation is what right now, 8%, 6 to 8% a year?
You're in that range.
At least,
That's correct. 3/4%.
yeah, so.
Per month?
Yeah, so it's a rough market right
Yeah.
now. And then you throw in labor shortages, which could grow because of what's going on in the country right now. So that adds to it as well. So again, we don't want to, so then the decision is, okay, if there's truly X number of dollars, what do we scale back on the project?
Yeah, right.
I mean, those are your hard choices.
And are those gonna, since would be delegating this to superintendent, then you would be making those decisions on what's scaled back?
Well, not just necessarily me, this is gonna be, you know, I'm gonna speak with.
Like at your level?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but then you would be informed that, okay,
Absolutely.
we said this, you know, you will be informed the entire
Right.
way. It's not gonna be.
Okay, I just wanna make sure, cause we
Yeah.
voted on a project
Oh,
with this
it's absolutely.
expectation, and if it
Yeah.
gets scaled down
Yeah.
to meet the
Right.
max cap, and then,
Right.
you know, it's.
I mean, one of the things that we did ask them to include as what we call an ad alternate at the elementary. So the project right now says elementary playground. How many of you are aware that we've got a parking problem at the elementary? So we are asking them, but it would be an ad alternate that you would look at, is paving about the front third of that triangle area there to provide some more parking. So it would be things like that that we would bring to the board to say, okay, is this something that we want to do that's in the best needs of the district?
If the money is there.
But again,
If-
you,
yeah.
you'll, if the
That's-
money's
yeah.
there and you vote yes, then yeah, those type of things.
Okay.
And the last question.
No, please.
So will this just be a running agenda item as providing regular updates at each board meeting?
Yes, it'll
on the
be.
project?
Yeah, I don't know that it'll be every
Yes,
month.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
as needed.
Yeah, it may not
But
be
yeah.
every month, but yes, once,
Okay.
yes.
Yes,
Once
absolutely.
the project is.
Yes.
Right. Any other comments or questions, board members?
Thank you. Good questions.
Mr. President, I recommend approving the delegation to the superintendent authority to review and approve 100% of construction documents for the 2025 construction projects.
Is there a second?
That's it.
All in favor?
I, Rebecca Zananti.
I am Bryson, second.
I, Andrea Nicholas. I, Latoya Sizer.
I, Willie White, majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item 10 is the financial report for December 24 and January 2025. Thank you all. Thank you.
Touch, thank you all.
Working with you, thank you.
Absolutely. Any comments, board members?
I appreciate you
No.
answering my question, Dr. Bates.
No, that's, we talk about transparency, this is, I mean, those are things that you have questions, we're gonna get you the answers, so.
Do we have a motion for this agenda item?
Yes, Mr. President, I recommend approving the financial reports for December 2024 and January 2025 as submitted.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I, Latoya Sizer.
I, Andrea Nicholas.
I am Bryson, second.
I, Rebecca Zananti.
I, Willie White, majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item 11 is the renewal of property liability and fleet insurance. It's reoccurring. Any comment, questions, concerns?
No,
Very
you
quick.
answered my question, is that insurance extends to the areas we rent,
Right,
like
right.
the baseball fields that are not on campus and softball, so
Yes.
appreciate that.
It's a good question too.
And then realistically speaking with Ms. Novak, you know, let's say if we decide to go out for another insurance, we may not get, a lot of companies are not taking new clients now at all. And those costs are rising.
They are.
And throughout each company, so.
And I will say with TASB, we had a major hail claim back in 2016, and they took care of it. We were very happy, you know, because a lot of times you don't know how good your insurance company is until you have a claim. So we had a huge, it was over $1 million hail claim back in 2016.
I remember that.
They took care of us.
Yeah. All right, is there a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving renewal of property liability fleet insurance with the Texas Association of School Board Risk Management Fund as submitted.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I am Bryson, second.
I, Rebecca Zananti.
I, Andrea Nicholas.
I, Latoya Sizer.
I, Willie White, majority vote, the motion passes. The agenda item 12 is the financial auditing firm for the 2024-2025 fiscal year.
So Coleman Horton has provided really good service to us. They are on the approved list with Texas Education Agency as standard with auditing firms. They are also subject to reviews as well, and they again wouldn't be on the TEA list unless they were reputable firm.
Right.
Yeah.
Board members, any concerns, questions? Hearing none, is there a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the financial item for the 2024-2025 fiscal year as submitted.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I, Aaron Braxton, the second.
Rebecca Singleton.
I, Andrea Nicholas.
I, Latoya Sizer.
Aye, Willie White. Majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item 13 is the budget amendment number 1 for the 2024-2025 fiscal year.
So we're starting a construction project. If you'll remember, in the fund balance, we did set aside $5.5 million for construction projects. I'm asking right now to carry us through this fiscal year, $2.5 million, which will get us started. And then also the chiller that serves the media center, the gym, Maze Cold Gym, and Field House is 18 years old. It's at end of life. Those things do cost. This one we're estimating $225,000 ballpark. We have, Mr. Campbell has gotten quotes from companies that are on some of the board-approved purchasing co-ops. So some of this transfer that we'll do for capital projects will go towards getting that chiller replaced as well. So, and the lead time on those chillers can be, once you order, we're looking at 4 to 6 months a lot of times.
4 to 6, yeah.
We want to get that going.
Board members, any questions? Other questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving budget amendment number 1 for the 2024-2025 fiscal year as submitted.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I, Latoya Sizer.
I, Andrea Nicholas.
I, Aaron Braxton, the second.
Rebecca Singleton.
Aye, Willie White. The majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item 14 is a resolution regarding accepting the transfer of ownership of Robert G. Cole Middle and High School from the Department of Education.
So this is a similar process what we did with the elementary school when our buildings were very first built, elementary in the 50s, Cole in the 60s. They were built with funds from the Department of Education, and therefore they owned them. We have finished the process of bringing them up to current standards through grants with them, so now the Department of Education wants to get them all off of their books. So it's a multi-step process that takes probably a couple of years to get through everything, but one of the steps in this is a resolution of the board saying, yes, we do accept that transfer from the Department of Education to Fort Sam Houston School District.
Absolutely.
So it's a formality that the board did previously with the elementary. It's time to do it now with Coleman.
Yep, Cole Middle High School. Any comments, board members?
I understand it's a formality,
Uh-huh.
but I still get a little confused when it becomes ISD property on a federal installation. So again, I think we've talked about it before, we incur all expenses for maintenance, everything going forward once this transfer is complete.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
Absolutely.
because we're tenants. So we have our support agreement, we have a 25-year lease with the military for this property. And so, I mean, if the school district ceased to exist for whatever reason, then whatever formality that process is, we understand that, you know, these buildings become, I guess, the installations there. But yeah, we have property leases for every place where our property is. And there's quick claim deeds and, yeah.
It's still like when the long-term maintenance of it, you know, because we don't have property tax that we collect to maintain these long-term. So it always just feels like it's like we're susceptible.
Well, because between the state revenue that we get and the impact aid, I mean, that's where, I mean, we take care of our own buildings. You know, that's just, that's built into the support agreement, that they know we maintain our buildings. Yeah, no, we've got a multi-page support agreement with the installation for all of this.
Yeah, in
Where
fact,
we at
we
within
agree.
that-
No, go ahead.
Where we within that 25-year agreement?
Only like year
Four
4 or
or five,
5.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, and that
No.
was like a 6-year process to get through that. Because, yeah, no, that was one of my, that was fun. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
It was fun. Because the previous leases had actually been with the Department of the Army, so then because of JB joint basing, and now we were Department of the Air Force. That was a 6-year process to get those 25-year leases. But yeah, we're at the beginning of it. So none of us in the room will be around when we have to review that.
Wait a minute.
I mean, as far as-
What does that mean around?
I mean, as far as being working here, I'm hoping I'm still here in 25 years, but I won't be here in 25 years, is what I meant, sir.
Thanks for the
We'll be at the
clarification.
table. We'll be at this table. I'm still here in 25 years, just not at this table. How's that?
I'll be here. Plan on it. Thank you, Ms. McBain. Any other comments or concerns, board members? Hearing none, is there a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend adopting the resolution regarding accepting the transfer of ownership of the Robert G. Cole Middle and High School from the Department of Education.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I, Andrea Nicholas.
I, Latoya Sizer.
I, Jay Bryson, the second.
Hi, Rebecca Sinotti.
I, Willie White. Majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item 15 is a resolution regarding emergency school closing on January 21st, 2025.
Basically, folks, bad weather day, so we
Yep.
wanna make that resolution so our people get paid. Wasn't their fault, we had a snow day.
Was it snow?
Or ice day.
It was a little snow.
A little bit of snow.
That was the smallest snowman I've ever seen.
I know, right?
It was
Do we have a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend adopting the resolution regarding the emergency school closing on January 21, 2025 as submitted.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I, Latoya Sizer.
I, Andrea Nicholas.
Hi, Rebecca Sinotti.
I, Bryson, the second.
I, Willie White. Majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item 16 is the public hearing on the 2023 to 2024 district annual report, which includes the Texas Academic Performance Report, known as TAPER. There is no action needed, discussion only. Hmm? Something did.
It came on, we turned it all the way up. We turned it all the way up.
What's it?
No, ma'am.
I'm gonna wait. Yeah, we turned it all the way up. Bye, thank you, sir.
Do like this.
Yeah, I bought that. Good, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, Dr. Bates, board members. I'm here with our district annual report, which we are required to present to you. It does include our TAPER report, another acronym which stands for Texas Academic Performance Report, for this is for 23-24. After this, there'll be another agenda item for comments regarding this report. So, there are 8 sections of this district annual report. You'll see the 8 in front of you. It is a very long report. You have it in your board packet, and so hopefully you enjoyed reviewing it. So these are the areas, and I will start with the Texas Academic Performance Report, the TAPER. You will see the areas that I'm briefly going to go over with you. All the 3 performance levels for STAR, reported for 24 and 23. It will be reported for each assessment, all grades, all subjects, all grades by subject, by enrolled grade, so on and so on. And if you remember, we came to you back in September and presented to you our STAR performance data. So some of this you have seen, okay? All right. So we're going to gonna start with all grades, approaches grade level. Remember, approaches is the passing standard for STAR. And you will see here, we are in the red, and region is in the white, and then the state is in the blue. And you will see that we are above the region and state. And when you look at, let's look at RLA, you see the 93%, that includes approaches, meets, and masters. So 93% of all of our students that took Reading Language Arts STAR are either at those levels, okay? And so that means the percentage that did not meet is very what? Small. So that is a very, very good thing. You will see math, science, and social studies. The next one is all grades meets, which as you know is on grade level, and you will see our data. So 78% of our population in Reading Language Arts is at grade level or above. You can see that math, right? Math is an area, and it's an area for probably every school district I know in the United States, especially in the state of Texas. You see science and social studies. You will see masters, which is above grade level. This is the percentage of students in these 4 content areas that are above grade level. Okay. Again, I think I mentioned to you, when you look at STAR data for school districts in the state of Texas, I always look at masters first, because if I see double digits, I see a high-performing school district, right, that is doing something right, if not many things right. So, so we're hoping all kids, remember our charge is on grade level or above. All right, the next section of the taper is school progress, and it measures 3 areas which are on the slides. You'll see the annual growth, which is reported by grade and subject in only reading and math. You'll see accelerated learning, which is the students that did not meet standard, House Bill 4545 that you'll hear, and those are the students that receive additional tutoring hours that is required by the state. And then you'll see reading and math, and then you'll also see STAR participation. So we always do well. The kids show up to test, right? In 2023, we were at 99%. This past year, we were at 100%. So the kids showed up. And so they know that it's important.
Absolutely.
So our annual growth, you know, I always say that the game, or whatever you want to say, is kids to grow. We want kids to grow every year, at minimum 1 year's growth, okay? And so when you look at annual growth, you'll see that we are above the state and region in these areas, but not by a lot. And so it's hard to grow kids. You've got to have a very high quality curriculum. You've got to have a very effective teacher. You got to have enough time to teach all the standards. And so it is a lot of different moving parts. And so we want our kids to be prepared for the next grade level, and the next grade level, and eventually post-secondary. So this is the percentage of students that grew academically by at least 1 school year. Again, like I told you, the name of this game is growth. So accelerated growth, as I said, is the growth by students under House Bill 4545. Also, there's a portion of House Bill 1416 that I think replaced that one. I can't keep up, but it's the same thing. Accelerated learning is the percentage of students who did not meet grade level in the prior year, and after the acceleration in the tutoring, the intervention hours reached approaches grade level or above in the current year. So after we tutored and provided the additional support, then 56% of the kids grew at least 1 year in RLA, 52% of them grew in math. So that's a testament to the intervention program that we have, which we're always trying to improve. So our current ESL, English as a second language, also you'll know them as emergent bilingual. This group of students, where they're at meets grade level, you'll see that we are above the state and region again for this group of students. You'll see that. And here is some data. So we did the STAR assessment and of course assessment stuff. Now we're going to look at attendance, graduation and dropout rates. And you'll see that there's a disclaimer at the bottom that this data for 23-24 will not be reported to TEA in time to be included in the taper. So what you're going to see is the most recent is 22-23 and 21-22. So you can see the areas of attendance. We went up in attendance. Chronic absenteeism, you said that, we went down, which is a good thing. Our annual dropout rate is 0, back to where we were in 21, which is awesome. And then you'll see the longitudinal graduation rates for 4, 5, and 6 year. And I'm just going to give you an example if you want to know what that is. The 4-year longitudinal graduation rate, it's the cohort of students who first attended 9th grade in 1920, and they're followed through their expected graduation with the class of 2023. So you can kind of see how that works. But we do very well in that area. You also see in 22-23 our graduates, we had 75 of them. Also in the report, there's a lot more information by ethnicity, by graduation type, and then by the program and student attributes. So there's more data in there for you to review. So here's some information on our college, career, and military readiness, and we compared it from 22 to 23. You saw the big jump of how many students in the graduating class left us, college and career and military ready. We went from a 68.3 to a 90.7%, which is huge.
That's huge, yeah.
Huge, huge, huge. And so Dr. Cerna and his team. Then the percent of graduates under an advanced graduation plan and identify special education students. So that is self-explanatory. So we went up there, which is a positive. So more of the kids in this group are graduating and prepared. SAT, ACT results tested. It's basically the number of graduates who took the SAT or ACT, and then it's divided by the number of graduates, right? So 100% of our kids, they tested. So that's easy to understand.
Mm-hmm.
This one is the one for SAT, ACT results at or above criterion. So it's the number of students it's the students that took it, they scored either a 3, 4, or 5. Okay? And so you'll see that we went up in that area compared to the previous year. And then you'll see our average SAT score, which has gone up, and you'll see our average ACT. Some more information for the CCMR related indicators. You'll see we do not offer International Baccalaureate IB. We offer AP, as you well know. And so the results, the participation, you'll see the participation in students who took AP exams went up. The examinee's criterion is the percentage of students with at least one AP exam at or above the criterion scores of a 3, 4, or 5. So we went down in that area. So they're taking it, but then the percentage of kids that are scoring at a 3, 4, or 5 went down a little bit. And then you'll see advanced dual credit course completion is the percentage of students who completed and received credit for at least one advanced or dual credit course. So we went up in that area. Our ethnic distribution at that time for 1605, the number of students that we had, you'll see the ethnic distribution broken out for you. And then here's the demographic summary by instructional program. And so I'm going to give you a moment to look at that where we compare to the state.
That's special education.
Oh, we are, yes, we're above the state in that. So, yes. The second section of the district annual report is our PEIMS financial standards report, and you'll see that in your packet. It's 22-23 data by object. All of that's right in front of you. accreditation status for the 22-23 school year. Because TA has not issued this status for the 23-24 school because of pending litigation, you'll see that we have not had it. Last time we got an accreditation rating was in 22-23, and we were accredited. We've always been accredited, but because of the lawsuit that's going on and all that, we have not received a rating or accreditation. And then the next section, section 4, is campus performance objectives, and you guys know this, our campus improvement plans. We bring them to you for approval, and then we also post them on our web pages, and again, you have been through those. Our next section that we are required to report to you is a report on violent or criminal incidences, and you'll see what the report contains. And we are proud to say that we have 0 incidences. Ma'am?
He did this. I was like, did you knock on wood?
They gotta knock on wood for this. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's important. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Student performance in post-secondary institutions. So the data comes mainly from the Texas Higher Educating Coordinating Board. And so the data that you have in front of you is for 21-22 school year for the high school graduates. And it talks to you about, it tells you about their GPA and the credits and so on and so on. But the note at the bottom is this coordinating board released an updated report really very end of January, when even mid-January. And so that report is posted on their website, but it wasn't released in time for us to put it into here. And so that was everybody that presented this. And so if you want to go to that website, and I can get you that information to see the most updated. That's easy to get you guys if you'd like it. And then if you remember, we recently came to you all with a new set of 5-year school board goals around early childhood literacy and math and CCMR. And so what we're gonna do is you approve those new 5-year goals, so then we'll come to you probably at the end of the year, maybe summer, and give you an update on how we're doing on those goals. And we'll give you a progress update every year on how we're doing on those goals. And then there is a taper glossary for your viewing pleasure. It explains everything you need to know about every single thing in that report. It's also a Spanish version if you are needing it. And as always, we'll post this on our website. It's also in the central office and on each campus. And if you have any questions, as always, I'm available for you. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good report. Agenda item 17 is the public comments regarding the public hearing of 2023-2024 district annual report only.
Audience, any questions from the audience?
All right. No questions, no comments. Agenda item number 18 is the 2025-2026 application for staff development minutes waiver.
This is me. Ms. Fuller, you wanna add anything?
She's
Not with that question.
Explain what it is.
Oh, and I'd like to also give a shout out to Ms. Fuller. Today is her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
We apply for this annually. What it does is it allows us to take 2,100 minutes, and as long as we are doing staff development, it allows us to count those as instructional minutes, and that helps us to reach our minimum of 75,600 minutes. So we just do it as a cover for us. It also helps us if we end up needing bad weather days and stuff. It gives us a little bit of cushion if the calendar does not do that.
Yeah.
It was 75,600, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody have any questions, comments? Cool. All right. Do we have a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the 2025-2026 application for staff development minutes waiver as submitted.
You go to second.
I'm Latoya Sizer.
All in favor?
I, Andrea Nicholas.
I'm Latoya Sizer.
Aaron Bryson, the second.
Aye, Willie White. Majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item number 19 is proposed for Sam Houston calendar for the 2025-2026 school year. Everybody had a chance to look at it. Everybody had a chance to look at it.
And we've vetted that with, community, faculty, staff, other Bear County districts. You know, this process, it seems like every year we go through this, I'm coming to realize that you can't please everyone. The calendar, you know, we got kids here, we got this, we got that. Even the other two military ISDs, we can't get our calendars correlated together, so we're gonna do what's best for Fort Sam and move on, and so this is what we came up with, so.
Do we have a motion for this agenda item, board?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the proposed FSHISD calendar for the 2025-2026 school year as submitted.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I, Andrea Nicholas.
I'm Latoya Sizer.
Aaron Bryson, the second.
I Rebecca Brown.
Aye, Willie White. Majority vote, the motion passes. We don't have Cole, where he gonna come in here? Miss-
Yes.
Bring up out there. No one's outside, right? So we just need to, we're gonna move forward.
You have to.
Do you know if he's out? Okay. We're gonna move to agenda item 21. And agenda item 21 is gonna be the closed meeting as authorized by Texas Government Code Section 551.071, closed, meeting. We will come back to agenda item number 20. The time is now 12:27. We move into closed session.
Mr. President, are you okay with me stopping the live stream and shutting this down, even though we have one more, the presentation is in open session?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna take it all apart.
Yeah, that's, yeah,
They have,
absolutely.
10 minutes, they need 10 minutes